Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the most must-see YouTube channel in the world, Talking Sports with Kendrick. Yes, sir, I am back. I told you guys, I am back with another one here today for you guys. Why I've been gone for so long. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Yeah, do that for me. Why have I been gone for so long? So, as I indicated in my first video, I've been gone for a whole year, an entire year. Been balancing, school, trying to graduate, and also balancing a relationship on top of that. Things get in the way. Sometimes you don't have time to do certain things, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna break it down, So, this is me, this is Kendrick McKnight. I'm here. I indicated before in a video that I created this YouTube channel to help me, assist me, to get me out of my shell, because I am a very to myself introvert. I don't really care for being around a lot of people a lot. I'm just like, you know what I mean? But with the career field that I'm going for in sports broadcasting, I have to be out there more. I have to talk, obviously. I have to communicate. And I have to associate myself with a lot of people. So why not create this YouTube channel to allow me to see what it's like, get that experience, do what I gotta do. So when that moment hit, it's like I'm not a deer in headlights. Now I know kind of like what to do and how to maneuver and carry myself within that atmosphere. So I made the decision to want to pursue this. Well, first off, let me backtrack. So, sports broadcasting was something that I've always wanted to do since I was like 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. It was a 2010 NBA Finals, Lakers, Celtics, Game 7 in Staples. Kobe Bryant's 5th and final ring. That was the first sports game I ever watched fully. Still, at that time, I was still like a TV kid. Cartoons, Blue's Clues, you know what I'm saying? Fairy Odd Parents, Rugrats, Jimmy Neutron, you know what I mean? Jimmy Neutron. But, yeah, I wasn't really into sports. That was 2010, so it's 2020. It's 2022 now, so I'm 24 going on 25 later this year. So I was like, what? That was 12 years ago. Oh yeah, I was 12, still not into sports. So, yeah, that was my thing. So my dad pushed me to watch the game. So credit to him to get me into sports, because if it wasn't for him, God knows what I'd be doing right now. But yeah, so like sports broadcasting was something that I've always wanted to do. So I was 12. I didn't really have the motivation or confidence in myself to do it. So I never really pursued it. I remember going into high school, the summer before my freshman year of high school. Freshman year, going into high school, summer going into high school, I got into soccer really big, really good. I got into soccer, and like in my 8th grade year, and I wanted to try out. But it was too late for like the team for my middle school. So I was like, okay, I go after it in high school. So my only goal, my only dream, and the only dream, goal, and plan that I had, legit, outside of broadcasting, was to play professional soccer. That's how much I loved it. That's how much I fell in love with it. That's how much I wanted to play it. So my plan going into high school was to play all 4 years of college, play all 4 years of soccer in high school. Hopefully I be good enough to get a scholarship to play somewhere in college. Play all my 4 years there, graduate, and be good enough, hopefully, to get like some professional recruit, play in the US, play overseas, South America, Brazil, Australia, Spain, Madrid, Barca, or play in London, and that was the goal. That was legit the goal. That was the plan for me. And I started playing my first 2 years of high school, and it didn't work out for me. I wasn't one of my coach's favorites. You know what I mean? Like I don't even, that's a story in itself that I don't want to talk about that. It is what it is. But yeah, once that dream shattered for me to play professional soccer, I was lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. That was legit the only plan. And even at that time, still to this day, I'm still the type of person where I'm the type of person where I don't like to consider the other options. If I say I want to do something, that means exactly that. I want to do this. And I don't like having plan B, C, D, E, F, G. Like I'm solely focused on A. And if A doesn't work, okay, cool. B. I'm gonna go all the way straight with B. If it doesn't work out, okay, cool. I don't like going in between plans. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm. So that was plan A, and I didn't have a plan B, C, or D. And I kept going in my head like broadcasting, but I never really had the confidence in myself to do broadcasting. You know what I mean? So never pursued it. Graduated high school in 15, and I literally sat out an entire school year, didn't do absolutely nothing. I didn't even work, which is crazy. So I graduated high school in May of 2015, and I went back to school, college anyway, in August of 16. So literally from May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and so on. So literally, like a lot of time, I was just not doing anything, sitting on my butt, not doing absolutely anything, just letting life go by. And that was a really tough time for me. Very tough time for me. However, I felt like it was just time to do something, because like I can't. A goal of mine since I can remember was to not be stuck in my hometown. That's always been a goal. I don't want to be stuck here, you know what I mean? So like I knew in the back of my head, like I have to do something. And then at that time, my little brother just got born, and I was still dealing with my dad's death at that time. So a lot was on my mind, and I was like, okay, I have to do something here. And then ultimately my grandmother passed, and like it was just so much, you know what I'm saying? And I had to do something, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, let's go back to school, let's go to college, you know, let's do something. So I decided to go to Chowan University, which is something that I didn't want to do. They didn't have broadcasting there, they had sports management. Never in my life did I want to do sports management, but I knew that I had to leave my hometown, or I'll go lose my mind. And I lied to my people that was close to me and said that that's what I want to do. And I just used Chowan as a ploy to leave. So my college life, my 5-year college life, started off on the wrong foot because I didn't do it with good intentions. I was just using college, Chowan University, as a way to just leave and just get away. And I don't regret it at all whatsoever. I really don't, because I've met some really, really cool people along my 2 years at Chowan that I still talk to this day. So like it's pretty cool. But yeah, so like I spent 2 years at Chowan University. 2 years at Chowan, and I felt like it was just time to leave, because at that time in my life, I was still making decisions for other people, because I want to make sure this person is happy. I want to make that person happy. I want to make sure this person is proud of me. So I never really made a decision for Kendrick. It was always for my dad, my mom, my sister, my brother, my cousin, my aunt, my uncle, this person, that person. I never made a decision for myself until that point. And I was like, my sophomore year, I'll never forget it. My sophomore year, I had my own room. You know, I was living in like a 4-person suite, like 2 people over here, 2 people over there. And crazy enough for me, the 2 guys over here on the opposite side were football players, and the guy beside me was in a fraternity. So literally every Saturday, every weekend was something in the living area, like a gathering party, so on and so forth. So luckily for me, on one particular Saturday, I can't even tell you the date, it was literally no one there. No fraternity, no football players. It was legit quiet, the way I like it. It was silence. Silence! And I took upon myself to take advantage. I turned my phone off. I turned my game off, TV off, and I just breathe, and just like I was just in my thoughts, and I was like, you know what? It's time to make a decision for Kendrick. It's time to do what Kendrick wants to do. And I felt like the first step to that is transferring, because I'm not happy here. I'm majoring something that I've never wanted to do. I think it's just time, man. It's time to do what's best for Kendrick. And in order to do that is to go after, finally, sports broadcasting. So when I finally made a decision to want to transfer, I broke it down to my mom. She was like, okay, but you only have one exception. You have to stay in North Carolina. I was like, dang. Oh, man. Because if I had it my way, I would have been gone. But I was like, okay, cool. So I did what any other kid would do. I went on the good old Google, searched up North Carolina schools, colleges, and obviously like, the normal popular schools of Carolina popped up. You know, Chapel Hill, UNC, Duke, Wake Forest, you know, ECU, Wilmington, Pembroke, UNCG, Greensboro, A&T, Central, so on and so forth. So I was like, oh man, my GPA is nowhere near these schools. It's not happening. And I was giving up, man, and I was very discouraged in myself, and I was like, man, I do not want to stay here, but I have to find something. And I came across Wingate, and I was like, what is that? What is Wingate? So I almost passed up on Wingate, and I was like, oh. And I was like, okay, let me just see what it's like. Let me just go on the website. And it was like 3 checks automatically. So first thing that I did, I was like, okay, where's Wingate? Wingate, North Carolina. Search it up. It's like 30-40 minutes from Charlotte. Check. I've always wanted to go to Charlotte. I've always wanted to live in Charlotte. So I was like, bet. Second check. Went on to their website, their requirements for GPA that I had at that time at Chowan matched their requirement. Check. Bet. So what was the icing on the cake for me was that go on their academics, what they offer, the area of studies. I go to communications. It's like, okay. Then had at the end, literally at the end of the page, it said communications, emphasis of sports broadcasting. Ding, ding, ding. Third check. I'm going to Wingate. 3 years at Wingate, 2 years at Chowan, 5 years. And I finally graduated, last year, December 18th, 2021. It was a long journey, long battle. Man, graduating college was something that was on my bucket list, the dream of mine. And the fact that I did it is like crazy, weird. Like I finally did something that I said I wanted to do, and I did it. Like that's weird, man. That's weird. But for me, I've always been the type of person where I dream about the future, and I daydream about the future, and it's like I want to do this. And then when that moment comes and I finally did it, it's like I make it seem like it's no big deal. Like, yeah, okay, I did it. Okay, cool. What's next? But I feel like something that I have to work on is appreciating the now versus appreciate the now versus always wondering about the future and being motivated to get things done and just be happy with where you're at now and how far you've come. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I've been gone, man. I been focusing on just graduating. That was the goal for 2021. Like, focus on graduating. Buckle down in these classes and just focus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I worked too hard to mess up at the end. You know what I mean? So let's get this thing started. Let's get this thing off and running. And I did it. That's why I've been gone. No content. My apologies. Then on top of that, relationship, making sure I have time for her and making time for us, you know what I'm saying? So like school, then relationship, I didn't have no time for no YouTube vid, you know what I'm saying? But I'm back now, man. And during this break between school, before I go back to school, I'll just be working, so I'll have time to do like 3 vids a week, maybe, so we'll see about that. So this is the reason behind my absence, man. I apologize once again. Talking Sports with Kendrick is back. Kendrick McKnight here. Signing off to my next video, man, where I break down day one. WWE day one was last night. It was lit. It was crazy. It was, oh man. I would talk about that in my next video, man. I might do it later today. I might do it tomorrow. Who knows? But for sure, one of those two. Back to back to back videos, back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? Back to back to back. Back to back to back. No Drake. But yeah. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Did I say that right? Subscribe. So, yeah, talking sports with Kendrick, man. We out. Yes, sir.